All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Primetime Painting here on the Origins Game Fair Twitch channel. I'm your host, Rick, aka Tabletop Santa. And tonight we're going to be painting or discussing batch painting. Someone's got their mic on. That was me. So we're going to be discussing a little bit of batch painting because I'm going to be painting some runners. I think they're called runners. Let me take a look in the Zombicide rulebook. They are called runners. Yep. Runner zombies, so fast zombies. And I've already primed them, and then I went over them with a wash to kind of get those crevices and definitions all kind of like popping for me so I can see them a little better. And yeah, so with batch painting, one of the best resources I know of for batch painting is a book called Armies, Legions, and Hordes. It's a guide to painting armies, legions, and hordes by Dave Taylor from Dave Taylor Miniatures. And it basically helps you get in the mindset and kind of like prepared to do an army or a legion or a horde, or, you know, where if you're making like a, I don't know, like 1,000-point army for Chaos Marines, right? And you want them all to look alike. Or if you're doing something like bolt action or some sort of Napoleonics where everybody has to have the exact same appearance because of their uniforms, that book will help you get in the mindset of doing that kind of content. But we're just doing what I would call a squad or a fire team, which is 4 to 5 to 6 miniatures, and I'm doing 4. And so I've done them all the same. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be using bone white, which is a little bit of a drabber bone color than bright white. And I'm just going to dry brush this over the fleshy parts to give it, you know, that hanging dead skin appeal, right? That you get from the fleshy bits of a zombie, right?
Hanging dead skin is so appealing.
Right, it's so appealing. You want them to look very fierce and everything. And zombies are one of the most scary horror movie type creatures that I can think of. What about you, Adam? What's a horror movie type genre creature that you're like, ee?
Ooh, scariest?
Yeah.
Ooh. I mean, one of the scariest movies for me has always been The Descent, so those like mole people in The Descent are certainly up there. Um,
Okay.
you know, I also go back to the classic xenomorphs. I think they are a classic scary monster, ultimate killing machine kind of thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Um, for monsters, that's
Yeah,
that's kind of where I
for
go.
monsters.
Yeah.
So yeah, so the fun part about, you know, doing batch painting is uh if you accidentally like squirt too much paint onto your palette uh that you would normally think would be too much for one miniature, you get a little lucky because we're working on a group of miniatures and we're going to be using the same colors. So yay, nothing
Yay.
goes, nothing goes to waste, because I did get a little more squeezed out than I was really intending. So yeah, like I said, I'm going over the flesh with a little bit of a bone white because it's not going to be fleshy, right? Zombies are going to have grayish skin or um, uh, like an off color than a supple skin tone that one would expect of a normal human, right? So we want to make them look a little like rotted, a little like the blood has kind of like pooled down to their feet, and so they're devoid of, you know, everything that would make the skin look normal.
Hmm.
So that's why we're gonna do this. I was almost thinking like after that, like touching it with some red ink
Oh yeah.
to kind of, so the red will leach in, and those like this open wound on the chest will have more of a bloody appeal to it.
Hmm.
So I think that'd be pretty wild. So yeah, and hopefully we'll get some folks to join us and chat and tell us what their scary monsters are from the movies. You
Yeah.
know, because I'll tell you right now, when I watch, Walking Dead is a great show when it comes to zombies. So Night of the Living Dead and uh, what's another? You have Night of the Living Dead, Return of the Living Dead.
Oh,
As far
Shaun
as
of the
zombies,
Dead.
Shaun of the Dead. Well, Shaun of the Dead is great.
Yeah.
What a great movie. Um, so you have these
8 days
zombie
later.
flicks. 8 days later.
Different kind of
What
zombies.
was that more? Was that zombies or was that vampires?
They
Was that
were
zombie?
they were like zombies. They worked like zombies. It
Okay.
was like an infection, like a rage infection,
Mhm.
if I remember correctly. But
Oh,
like it was
okay.
more like fast. It was like fast, runny zombies was kind of
Right.
the idea.
Yeah. So what? And then there was uh Z something Z Nation on Sci-Fi for a little bit.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and that one was pretty good too. But the movie, the zombie movie that really gave me a little like pause and put a little bit more fear of the zombie genre in my head was World War Z.
Oh yeah.
Those fast moving zombies were scary. You know, to think that they would just they'd have the kind of energy and the ability to move that fast just out of sheer like hunger and everything is kind of frightful because they're going to be stronger, faster.
Hmm.
You know, I was
Well,
like,
that like
ooh,
wall of zombies climbing up the wall, right?
yeah, that was scary. It's like, what the heck?
Yeah. It it's interesting, I think, what everybody um how people like react to fear and what generates fear in
Hmm.
um like horror movies and that kind of stuff. Like that was a really interesting visual for me, but like
Hmm.
it's so zoomed out and so massive that like it doesn't feel like that didn't feel scary to me.
Okay,
Like I think about like Independence Day
sure.
and like I can watch like the White House and a tower in LA getting wiped out and like people being obliterated and with like alien laser guns, but it's on such a massive scale that it's just sort of incomprehensible noise. Um,
Yeah,
but then you get down on that personal level, and then it really, like, you really feel it. Like in Independence Day when the dog's there in the tunnel, and like that fear moment of like, is the dog gonna make it? The dog needs to make
right,
it. There's the fireball coming. Come on, dog, make it.
right. Yeah, yeah. There's definitely different levels of how we all register fear in our, wherever we register fear in our brains. If there's any neurosurgeons or out there that could tell us, that'd be awesome. Uh, but yeah, I've for me, it's also that personal level. Like you said, I could watch, the mass invasion of an alien race and the destruction that they're going to cause and be like, yeah, that's neat. But when it's one person or a small group of people, like what was that one that was just that just came out that was what's his name, Dave Bautista in Vegas and the zombies.
Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't see that one, but
Mhm.
yeah, it's I don't even remember. Where's my
Yeah,
head?
but you know what I'm saying? Is like even
Yeah.
with The Walking Dead, when you have a group of characters that you're kind of invested in, right?
Hmm.
And you want them to succeed and survive and all the wonderful things that come with, an apocalyptic event like a zombie apocalypse that you want them to be like, yeah, they're gonna live. But when they get in those positions where, the hair on the back of your neck starts to rise because they're not doing the right things. They're like putting themselves in danger that they don't need to be in, and you're like, it's just wild. And I think that's what gets me as far as the fear factor too. Is like, you know, someone by themselves that's trying to survive, and they everything is against them, and you know, it's just crazy. I love it. Yeah. All right, so again, keeping with the theme that we want all of these miniatures to basically look alike. These ones but have what's interesting about these, and I'm wondering is like these particular runners, they had to have been like part of a sports team or something because they have knee pads, right? They have like literal
Oh, oh
literal
yeah,
knee pads there. I don't I
oh
think you can
yeah.
see me here just a sec. Um, but yeah, and then like running shoes and everything, but their shirts are ripped off. So I'm wondering if they're like part of like a rugby team or a soccer team. That's why they're runner zombies. So I'm gonna make all their shirt tops that are torn but still kind of draping around them. I'm gonna make them a blue, um, so that that could represent kind of like their jersey that they might have worn.
Oh, that's neat. Yeah, I never noticed that on those. I've only played Zombicide with unpainted minis though, so
No.
not my collection, not my fault.
Oh, okay.
I take no responsibility for the unpainted minis of the Zombicide that I have played.
All right. So I'm using Prussian blue, dark Prussian blue for the shirts because I want the dark of the blue to kind of really stand out and away from the lighter, grayer flesh tones. So there's an absolute separation of, uh, the zombie and its previous life. And also on the table when playing a zombie with these shocks of blue, you can definitely, they'll stand out on the board, right? Hey, it's Cannondale X. Hi, Natasha. Natasha has sat next to me many times painting miniatures on when I was on Painting Happy Little Minis.
Oh,
Uh, and she is still part of the Diamond Alliance family, making talking toys and previews, and I believe still doing some game trade media content as well.
very cool.
So, yeah,
Nice. Well, welcome.
she's awesome.
You in the midst of any cool painting projects, Cannondale X?
They're building a green or blue screen or a backdrop for some upcoming content that they're going to be creating. I know that,
Hmm,
and
that's
I'm
cool.
very excited. I don't know if you have the time, right, Natasha? You got a new baby, you're still doing the stuff with Diamond and Alliance, and you're just busy, busy.
That will eat your time.
Yeah.
I do still remember that from a few years ago, so.
It's kind of funny. I was thinking today about a role-playing game that I have been working on in the shadows, as one does.
Ooh.
And one of the characters that or archetypes that you can play is going to be a roller derby girl, because Natasha is very much a inspiration for me, and
Hmm,
she does roller derby, and
very cool.
yeah. Yeah, the trivia game show gig. Yeah, it's this Thursday. Toy chess news and yeah, GTM gameplay fun. Yes. So Natasha's still rocking it and rolling it, which is awesome.
So, can you give us any more hints about your role-playing game that you've got
Yeah, I mean, I
working
think
here?
I yeah, so it's gonna be called Poltergeist,
Okay.
and you basically are gonna take on different tropes as a player,
Mm-hmm.
and the roller derby character type is one of the athletic tropes,
Sure.
and then you have a ghost companion that you can bond with during the game that
Okay.
will modify, depending on what type of ghost it is,
Mm.
will modify some of your stats and abilities. So if like I play in a hacker type character, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I may want to take have a ghost companion like Billy the Kid or Jesse James,
Mm-hmm.
who is a more of a physical or was a physical entity in their in their
Yeah.
previous life, and bring some of that skills to their past life or into their afterlife.
Okay.
The bond, so giving you the ability to be a shooter,
Oh,
or something like that,
gunslingery.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
So, yeah. So how does the heist part fall
Take
into it?
place. So in the story of the RPG, the heists are, there is a gateway that has been broken between heaven and hell,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been broken for many years. And the ghosts are trying to heist the parts to put it back together to reopen the gates. And the ghosts that are the good guys are the ones that have always been written as outlaws or villains, are going to actually be the good guy ghosts. Some of the bad guy ghosts or bad guys will probably be some bad guys from the past too, but one of the main bad guy ghosts is Elliot Ness, who has always been written as a very, you know,
Yeah.
the
Upstanding.
untouchables,
Yeah.
yeah, officer and police, and also the living entity that is like the main foe in the whole
Mm-hmm.
thing is the Pinkerton Agency,
Okay.
which, as you know, was the agency that was chasing Jesse James.
Oh, okay.
Alan Pinkerton was chasing him,
Got it.
and Alan, when all of that was kind of said and done, the Pinkerton Agency is what becomes, in real life, our Secret Service.
Oh, okay. Cool.
But in my
Yeah.
universe, they become the paranormal Secret Service.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice. So are
and
you
they're
actually
bad guys.
like going through the gateway into hell to steal these chunks, or are you
No,
out
no,
in real world?
they're on the real world.
Okay.
They're like bits of like a like what would be a sensor or a disc,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been broken into multiple parts, and they've been scattered across the globe, and they're trying to find them. That's like the main story arc. But as a
Yeah.
role playing game, you can pretty much play it as you want. Do you want to heist a museum? You can play that.
Right.
you know,
But
if you
it's sort
just
of
want
built
to play it
around
as a
this
heist game.
idea of like this is sort of the driving narrative, and then you have
Yeah,
side stuff that.
yeah, and it can be an open world where, again, if you wanted to play mediums or character tropes, you could be basically anything the GM wants to throw. If he wants a bank heist, play a bank heist.
Mhm.
It is what it is.
Well,
Um,
and who's to say that that bank isn't holding one of those things, right? Like maybe the
sure.
owner of the bank has a secret safe deposit box that
Mhm.
has it
And as a
in the
collector of
vault. And
oddities,
yes, and it's in the vault, and
yeah,
there it is, and yeah. So
yeah,
yeah, you can run all kinds of different stuff.
yeah.
Very
There's all
cool.
sorts of things that can be played in it.
Yeah.
It's super fun. Cool train. I can consult for you. Uh, Canon Dalek says she can consult for us. On consult for us on what?
I,
As far as like giving us more details on the roller derby concept. I
yeah.
don't know if she's still with us. I
Yeah.
hope she's still
Roller
with us.
derby. Yep. Roller derby
Yep.
consult.
Yes.
I
All
like
right.
that idea of that. I always go back to leverage. That's my like
Mhm.
go-to heist model.
Yeah, it's
You know,
such a good show. And
yeah.
they're coming back.
Oh, I know. I've been enjoying it.
Oh, it's already out?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll
In
have to.
fact, I think even the second half of the first season is out. So they've got like 16 episodes on
Oh, great.
IMDb TV, of
All
all
right.
things. Like IMDb has it. It's
That's awesome.
yeah. Everybody's got a streaming channel.
Right?
Like I love my IMDb, but it is kind of weird to be like watching a show on it. I will tell you that much. That
It's like
is
you're not supposed to give us shows, you're supposed to give us answers
right.
about arguments about shows,
Exactly. Right. You're just supposed to settle arguments, not make new ones.
right?
uh,
Yeah,
but yeah,
Cannon Dawson, Natasha says she has 16 years experience, which I am fully aware that you've been doing it since you were a wee child.
oh, I
All
do
over
like
the
that
US.
idea of like a rollerblading
Yeah, a
hitter.
medium who can like gets buddied up with like Nikolai Tesla. How funny would that be? Like, what?
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Like s- lightning rollerblades.
Yeah,
Skating. Sure. Skating. Yes.
it'd be freaking awesome,
Lightning roller skates.
right? So again, with bat, for those of you watching, for batch painting, let's say I had 80 of these I had to paint, right? Of this particular skating, not blading.
Yeah.
I don't know why I keep saying
Well,
blading.
I
No.
said blade.
Oh, okay.
I got you on the wrong track.
Ah,
I
so
said it.
if I had like 80 of these to paint, I probably wouldn't be able to paint them all in one sitting. So for those of you that are watching that, let's say you've never painted a batch army or squad or anything. One of the good things that you can do is obviously take notes of like what you're using. So having if you're going to be using yellow olive and bone white and then dark Prussian blue, making a list of those so that you can obviously come back to them. Or if you were to run out because you had so many models, you run out of a paint, that you know what you need to go buy to replace it in case you weren't able to complete your models. So that's one of the other big things about making sure with batch painting that you have that they're all the same color palette, and you have a knowledge and remember everything that you're using.
There's that special challenge of mixing colors too. Like if you need to mix
Oh,
to make it like you might want to mix a big batch
mm-hmm.
uh, all at
Yep.
once, way more than you need if you're just gonna do a
Mm-hmm.
few at a time.
Yeah. And a lot of painting kits, like starter kits, will come with an empty bottle, dropper bottle that you can mix your paints so that if you are needing to create a color for the aesthetic that you're going for, you can absolutely have enough to last you through a batch paint job. So uh, I know the new Reaper kit comes with one, so worth worth remembering.
Yeah.
Gotta go, Mom. Have a great stream. Let's catch up soon. Absolutely. Have a wonderful night. Give the family hugs. Tell the husband I say hello. And I look forward to seeing y'all. Hopefully, maybe at PAX Unplugged in December. All right. That was fun. That was nice to have her join us. He's gaming right by you. All right. That is awesome. So a funny thing about Natasha and I, because Free Comic Book Day has a TikTok account, and I try to be the first person to comment on anything they post, and I comment just first.
Oh, you're one of those guys.
Only on that account because
Just
it's
that one
funny.
account.
Yep, just that one account. I,
So
one because
you
I think it's funny,
claim.
and I kind of do it. That's like the one account I will troll. It's not even trolling. It's just like if I'm the one that's the first to comment on any of those things, they need to work a little bit on getting it out to a broader audience. Because my content that I consume is almost exclusively tabletop gaming. I almost never consume comic book related content or toy related content anymore. Um, so the fact that it pops up so fast
Yeah.
amongst the 4,000 some odd people I follow, that one pops up like immediately. Um, so my recommendation to that would be what they should need to do is they actually have to go and follow comic book content creators, not people that are like writing or anything.
You might be skewing your own algorithm there though in commenting on every single post that they make. Like the
I mean, that
algorithm
might be
knows
also,
that might be
yeah,
part of it. Like the algorithm knows that you're like apparently it thinks that you're apparently super into Free Comic Book Day specifically.
they
And so
might,
they
you're right.
prioritize that.
Oh, look at you making me feel like I need to stop commenting, but I'll never stop.
I, I'm not saying you need to stop. I'm just saying it may not be on them that you're seeing that so fast and so frequently in your
Sure.
feed.
Yeah, I may not, but I'm going to put it on them always.
I'm going to blame them. It's my fault, but I'm going to blame them.
Yeah. But like I said, one of the things I think they need to start doing, because I don't think they do it enough, and I don't a lot, and that's with a lot of content creators that are struggling to get an audience, is you have to really engage with the audience you want to have follow you, right?
Well, I think that's
So,
true. Yeah.
you know, like I do comment a lot on people's content that is Dungeons and Dragons, board games, miniature painting, um, funny cats and dog videos.
Because that's apparently a thing that you want.
I do want that in my feed. I love funny cat and dog videos.
Well, not
My
apparently you want
what's
people
that?
that love funny cats and dog videos to love your content too.
Well, I also want them to see my content, because if anybody likes funny cat and dog videos, they're gonna have they gotta like fun stuff. And what's more fun than board games, right? I don't know. I can't think of anything other
I
than
think those
cat
people
and
may think
dogs.
funny cat and dog videos.
Yeah, right. I mean that's what I was gonna say is, yeah, maybe funny cat and dog videos. My favorite kind of cat videos are the ones where the cats are like getting ready to throw down, and they're like growling at each other and like all arched up, and or up on their hind legs and just getting ready to throw hands. It's like those are so funny. It's like, come on, don't talk about it, just do it. So I will say this: since last week, um, I had Brenner for dinner twice, which was awesome. Because that is like my favorite thing to have for dinner is breakfast.
favorite dinner's breakfast.
Right. Waffles, pancakes, bacon, eggs. For anybody that might be watching that has a little hunger pain going on, I apologize, but I'm not sorry.
Well, you can snack if you're not painting right now. Like, you can enjoy a lovely snack. Let us know what you're snacking on. Let us know what you're painting on.
Right.
Painting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is
Share a
I,
little bit about your day.
as I'm painting, I always, my mind always, I don't know why, but it always goes to food, right? Like I'm sitting here looking at this guy, and I'm like, the coloring I did with the seared gray as the primer I used, and then taking that light wash, the soft tone, kind of gave it a very maple syrupy appeal. I was like that's the gooiness of the skin, because it's like decomposing, so it's got a very sticky, gooey consistency in my head. And I'm like, maple syrup, nice.
The fact
And
that,
there we have it. I brought it into the fold.
yeah, rotting flesh making you think, rotting human flesh makes you think of food.
I
It's an
mean,
interesting glimpse into your psyche, Rick.
hashtag Midwest, hashtag uh, a medic for 20 years. So I see, it is. I've seen some stuff
Seen some stuff, man.
that make me think, man, it looks almost like maple syrup. All right. Looks like I got all the blue on that torn shirt on this one too. So there we go. So these are coming along really well. I'm actually pretty happy about how they're looking. And what I said earlier about using some sort of like a red wash, I think I'm going to do that. And I have a red tone, but I'm going to do it after I do the pants. And with the pants, I'm going to use a yellow olive, because I feel like they wore like this blue jersey, but they wore very utilitarian, almost militaristic, khaki like pants with odd knee
Yeah, if they've
protectors,
got the knee
knee
pads, then
pads.
it probably wouldn't be khakis. But I mean, like yellow, you could do like, I don't know.
It's a weird greenish yellow. It's gonna be
Yeah.
more green olive
Okay.
appeal than the yellow,
Okay.
but yeah, but it is called Oliva Amarillo or yellow olive.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll mix that up and put that to test on the mini here and
That'll be interesting.
them pants. Get them pants painted.
You would think if they had the knee pads that they'd be wearing like shorts, not pants pants. Right? Like they'd be wearing
Yeah,
like runner shorts and then knee pads or something like that. I don't know.
yeah. But you can barely see if they even have shorts. But the pants look like it could still be flesh right here. It could be because you can see the musculature.
Yeah.
But I'm going with more of like a tight runner's type or jogging pant type thing that long distance runners might wear. Almost like spandex.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sure.
Just because if it's all flesh, yeah, this seems weak to me. And then if I had my zoom in glasses, I'd put little the Nike swoosh on the shoes. Like, yep, them's fast zombies. They get you. But these are pretty cool. I'm really excited to do some of the bigger zombies. I'm going to do probably one of the bigger boss zombies next week.
Oh, okay.
I just kind of felt like, it is the time for spooky.
Yeah.
So kind of go with the theme here. And normally for anybody watching, normally at this point in the show, we would take the time to show off some community works in progress or completions. I don't think we got any this week. So,
Well,
or
some
did
of
we?
that is, Rick, that you didn't share with me your final product on your last three.
The three, the hero, the bounty
Yeah,
hunters.
your bounty hunter
Yeah,
team that you've been working on for the
yeah,
last couple of weeks. So
yeah. It'll
I
fall
think
on
you've
me.
got a little assignment there
I
for next
do.
week to
Yeah, I absolutely
show off
do.
some of those bounty hunters, so that we can.
That's going to be tough for me because I leave on Wednesday to go to Gamehole Con,
Mm,
and I'm there till Sunday.
well,
But
have
I'll figure
you have like
something
a
out.
whole day tomorrow.
I do to film content.
Well, some
For
of that
those of you that
content could
don't
be
know,
finishing up those minis.
yeah, that's true. I could do that and then put something up on my TikTok. But for those of you watching that don't know, I actually run a bunch of TikTok accounts for publishers, one of them being Simon. So I spend my days filming TikTok videos, me dancing a lot, if you are all down for that. I'm kidding. I don't do dance videos. Um, even just to show off a game without showing off the game, if you know what I mean. I'm not gonna, and this is no offense to anybody that does it, because if it works, it works. It wouldn't work for me.
It is
I'm
not
not gonna dance with a
your.
game. Yeah, it's not my thing.
It's not. It's not
But I
your
can
thing.
appreciate what other people do. So
Sure. Well, we if it was all dance videos, then that would be its own sort of boring,
yeah,
problematic thing. We can't
yeah,
all be dance videos on TikTok.
right. I
We
agree.
gotta be
I
like
have,
everybody
however,
else.
been considering doing something on my personal TikTok that would be kind of funny, because there's some fun content creators out there that I hope, I'd actually reach out to and be like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this series where you do your post and then I'm going to mimic you, because some people just, they just stand there with the box, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's, they're usually a very attractive people, right? And they just stand there with the box, and because they're attractive, they get a lot of um contact, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, let's say someone is going to stand there with the game Everdell, and they have purple hair, right? Or wearing a purple wig, then I'll get a purple wig and kind of like dress the same way and then do the same thing with the same game and see if it works for me too. Like, I would do that. I think it'd be funny and fun, especially if I had their permission, right? I wouldn't do it if I don't want it to come off like I'm mocking them. I want it to come off like, hey, if it works for them, maybe it'll work for me, right? And if I have their permission, they'd be like, hey, I want to do this series with you. Are you cool with it? And they're like, yeah, that would be hilarious. That, I think that would be super funny, especially to see me, a 6'5", 400-pound man in a purple wig, standing there holding a game, trying to look like, I'm an attractive person.
Rick, I'm sitting here looking at our challenges, and I'm thinking about how I personally, since I use my own account to sort of monitor the stream
Hmm.
separately, I personally have many, many, many channel points
I don't know what that means, because
for
that it sounds
for
like you're threatening me.
I feel like it might be fun for people to see what kind of challenges we can actually put on you so that they
Yeah,
understand, because maybe they just don't know
that could be
how
true.
the challenges work.
They may not know.
So
So
perhaps
which one are you going to redeem?
um that's
You
very
have,
tempting for me.
because
You are right
I
in
have,
between colors, right?
I am, yep, I'm
I'm
doing
gonna
the
wait
pant
for you being in between, so you've finished your
Mhm.
next color. All
And you
right,
want to
so
pick a
so
color?
you oh no, I think I'm gonna pick a brush.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Wham!
Paint with the cotton swab. Okay. So funny thing is, I can do that right now.
Okay, well, do it. You're not doing it right now. I can see you.
Yeah, I can do that. I have a cotton swab because, so yes, I have a cotton swab, as you can all see here. Got my cotton swab, right? It's right there. Uh, but the thing about the cotton swab is I don't necessarily have to use the cotton end
Oh, I think that's cheating.
to use the cotton swab.
No, that's
So
not using the cotton swab. That's using a stick.
it says use you with a cotton swab. I'm using a cotton swab. Using a cotton swab.
See, we're trying to demonstrate to people the challenges that we're presenting to people, and you are trying to put loopholes into this.
Yes,
And
but
but
here's the
that's
thing.
not but that
I'm
I
literally
just spent
using
a
the tip end.
thousand I just spent 1,000 of my hard-earned channel points, and you
So,
aren't are using a stick. Well, yeah, I mean, like, anybody can paint with a toothpick. There you go.
oh, dang, dropping the hard knowledge on me. Anybody can paint with a toothpick. I don't think that's true.
Ingenuity at its finest, says Phalanx.
Thank you. Thank you, Larynx. I appreciate that. So I am using the cotton tip now, and I'm
I
just
see.
dabbing,
Yeah.
dabbing it on there. And it is difficult because with the brush, I was able to avoid the straps that are on the legs for
Hmm.
like the knee pads and stuff. But now it is a much more difficult task to kind of get those points. So yeah, that is a tough one for sure.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to
Ooh,
open with a
ooh,
big challenge.
that is a good one. Um, but I am going
How long
to,
does that last? Oh, 2 minutes. You only have 2 minutes. So
yeah,
so
so we're good.
it's no big deal. You're
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm just trying to Well, I can go to the bigger spots on this other one and come back and hit those more difficult
Yeah,
areas.
batch paint, right? Like we're
Yeah, batch painting.
demonstrate that batch painting. See, that's the thing. Like the 2 minutes are going to be up, but you're still going to have to use the cotton swab because you used the cotton swab on the first two.
Yeah.
Ha 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 ha. This is the perfect week. This is the perfect week for challenges, people, because
Yeah.
he gets extra time on them. So if you're feeling like spending some channel points, this is the time to do it. Pick a
Thanks,
cut.
Adam.
You can
I
pick a
appreciate that.
color. You can make him paint with his offhand. You can make him paint with his mouth. You can
Oh,
have him hold the brush in his mouth.
that would be the toughest one for sure. I don't think we have enough viewers that have enough points yet to bring that one to the table.
I don't
But
know.
when it
Armies has been
happens,
around for a while, so they might
but
have
when that
stuff. But
happens,
yeah,
ooh,
Night Rain's been accruing quite a few points, so
that's true.
I don't think they made it to the stream this week, but
No.
yeah, but I think I'll be challenging Night Rain to challenge you the next time I see them on the stream.
Well, I feel like they probably do because I'm guessing they probably watch some of the other content.
Yeah, yeah, I've
So
I've seen them on
they
some of the other
probably
channels
accrued
too.
a pretty big amount of intel on that.
Yeah, I think they're
So
ready for a few things.
dang it. I'm guessing my 2 minutes is up.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was a good challenge. It's one that I think for future I will be because it also had me make a little bit of a mess on myself with paint. Got a bunch of blue on my fingers now because just adjusting stuff. I was like, grapes, no. Um, but yeah, the challenges I think are just a great add into the opportunity for the community to engage with us here on the channel and make my life difficult, which everybody seems to enjoy.
I know I do. At
Right?
least just in this sense, just when it comes to the painting, like I want your real life to be as worry free as possible. But
Right, right.
here, when you're on camera,
When you're in
painting
my
things,
house.
yes, when you're in my house, you will suffer.
I love it.
Paint, suffer, suffer for your art.
I will. It's so good. Suffer for your art. Oh, that's a horror movie in the making.
Ooh, yeah, that seems like a Saw extension. It's definitely like that
Right?
torture horror kind of thing.
Yeah. Which those I'm not a big fan of. I don't think torture horror is my thing
No, no. I
at
watched the
all.
first couple of Saw movies. I Saw 2 was interesting. I
Yeah.
liked the like House of Horrors kind of thing.
Hmm.
Like
The one I didn't like was Hostel. I don't know if you ever saw that. That one was like, whoa, that's that is over the top. And now I
yeah,
don't want to travel in Europe, at least the Eastern Bloc.
yeah. I got a perfectly fine experience with that with Eurotrip when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
Just watching that was enough.
Yeah. All right. So I got the pants. I got the shirt, the knee pads I need to do. And I think a fun yellow maybe. Again, just to so that there is color variations, and then I'll use some brown to hit those straps that are on the legs. But what I'm because of the upper body hasn't gotten any more attention yet, I'm going to go ahead and do the red wash just to kind of get a C on that. And if I like it, um, we'll do it all of them, but we'll do it on one first, just kind of get a like I said, get a look.
Hmm.
And if it looks cool, we'll do it to the rest of them.
That's the other
Otherwise,
nice thing about batch painting, right? You can do one sort of test one, and then
yeah,
if it doesn't work, you just have one. You can reset and get the other ones all looking right.
So I'm with this this red shade. It's basically, I think, yeah, it's red tone. I'm not gonna do like a full wipe over the miniature. I'm just gonna hit the spots that kind of look like where it would be a little bit bloody. Around the neck there, in this area of the arm, between the shirt where the sleeve has been torn, and it looks like you can see um, some separation of the bone there. And then on the back, there's like a wound right in here. So hit that area. And then on the other arm actually looks like it's pretty healthy, except for right here. So we just hit those couple of little spots. I'm gonna wipe that off and kind of wick some of that away. And then we've got, so yeah, we've got a little bit of a blood effect going on again, which makes zombies extra creepy.
Always.
Looking at its skull here, I can't really see anything that would show like a wound, except for maybe this side of his face. So we'll put a little there too, I guess. That's one side. Yeah, and I think that looks good, and we'll definitely do that to the rest of them.
Well, and as that dries, you're going to get a little bit more matte, and some of that, like, brown and gray is going to come through, so it's not going to be as vibrant once it's dried, which you kind of want.
Yep. Absolutely. So
That's the big trick of horror
of the paint,
movies.
yeah.
Well, and
Yeah.
like horror movies, a lot of people, it's always like, oh, it's ketchup, and it's like, no, it's almost never ketchup. It's like,
It's almost always like a Caro syrup.
yeah, Caro chocolate sauce is actually a good one for the
Yeah,
mix. You add just a
yeah.
little bit of red to chocolate sauce, or I mean, even maple syrup can do it in the right context.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
And thanks for bringing that up. That really makes me happy.
I know I know how much you love maple syrup now. So
I love it.
like, if there's an
So
excuse to
good.
mention maple syrup, then
We got to take it.
we
We
gotta
just
we
got
gotta
to.
take it. Like, I think you could definitely make, especially if you wanted to cover, um, if you wanted to cover something that was already like fleshy red, it was already red. You could put like that over it, or put it into the mix of some stuff, because it's going to have that sticky and it's going to have that viscous that you
Yeah,
need for that fake kind of look.
absolutely.
Did
I love it. Oh, look there. I get to hit the box to add more points to my channel points. Yeah,
There you go. You can challenge yourself.
I will not. Because so my hope is, because I have 1,700 challenge points or channel points, is that as some other programs start getting added to the channel, there will be challenges for those programs as well, and I'll be able to spend them on making those individuals' lives miserable.
I suppose that's fair, but not everything is going to have these kinds of challenges. But yeah.
No. But what's interesting is I was having a conversation today with Simon Games, and one of the things they would like is if there was a show, maybe not on this channel, but maybe on this channel, where you take different role-playing systems and you just show people how to build a character for that system. Because they were talking about their new RPG for Zombicide. They have a full-blown tabletop RPG. for second edition. So all these miniatures that you use on the board game can be used in the RPG, which is really nice. And they're like, we'd love to have, some content created where someone's making show people how to make the different characters available in the system. I was like, I used to have a show.
You are totally speaking my language here because
Yeah,
I love character building. I,
me
I,
too.
I will just there are whole systems that I have never played that I have built like
Mhm.
a dozen characters for because I
Yeah,
just love just diving into a system and just figuring out. And that's how I figure out systems is just building
yeah,
characters.
yeah.
So,
And and doing that gives you a really good look into the system's mechanics,
mhm.
its genre, its world, everything. And I think that'd be a lot. I used to do a show called Building Character years ago, when I was on Game Trade Media,
Mhm.
and I think it would be a great revamp, because I think there's only like two companies in the role playing publishing space that I don't do their TikTok channels for. I have Catalyst, so BattleTech and Shadowrun. I've got Monty Cook Games, so everything there. Hunters Entertainment, um, CMON. I work with Renegade, so when all their Hasbro stuff comes out, yay, yay. Um, but and I'm talking to Modifius and Chaosium, so I think the only one I'm like really missing is Kobold Press and Troll Lord Games.
Nice.
So we
Yeah.
could literally make characters for everything.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that sounds really exciting and something that would be really fun and also like, you know, diving into that and then diving into some of these indie publisher games, like, you know, there's so much dominance of that
Mhm.
D20 leveling system that like a lot of people are nervous going into another system.
Yep.
A lot of systems can be really scary,
Yep.
I have 30 years experience role playing games
Yeah.
and like I guess it's 5 years ago now when a buddy of mine was like, "We're gonna play Mage." I was
Oh,
still
yes.
overwhelmed a little bit by that book. That's a 700-page tome.
Yeah. Mage the Ascension is amazing.
It's a oh, it's a great system. He really
Hmm.
turned me around. I was not really a big fan of Storyteller, um,
Hmm.
but I think it was the group that I was with. They were not the right kind of people for a storyteller game.
Sure.
So instead of realizing that I had an issue with the group, I thought I had an issue with the system, and it was just group system incompatibility. Um,
Yeah.
and so yeah, he really turned me around on it, and I I love that system. If you're and like Mage is such an interesting character build process.
Hmm.
Um, that yeah, like just
Yeah.
really a fun one to do. So I'd love to do that one. I love the 2D20 system, at least the 2D20 system of
Oh,
Star Trek
yeah.
Adventures. That
Yep.
is like you build through your career. It's very much like Traveler in that, but it's not. You can do it randomly, but you don't have to, and
Mhm.
you don't accidentally die in the middle of character creation.
Right.
um,
Yeah. That's always good, right?
yeah, yeah.
Um, and what's also funny is like, so I also run Free RPG Day TikTok.
Hmm.
So I get to see some of the stuff that's coming out, right? Because a lot of times the games that are being promoted in that are, either just hitting the market or not coming soon, right?
Yeah.
So um, there's a book, anthology book in there called Level Up or Level One, and it's a bunch of different submissions for RPG indie type content that Ninth Level Games puts out. And I thought that would also be kind of cool because they also have a really cool system called the polymorph system,
Hmm.
which is so super simplistic in that it's not so simplistic that it's like too easy to play.
Hmm.
There's still a lot, because here's the thing. This is my when it like for like Zombicide or any RPG game, the mechanics to me are secondary because role playing is role playing. I don't care what system it is. you're just taking on a character role and you're playing it in a specific world. That's easy enough. It is the mechanics that you start to get, you got to be like, all right, you got to learn a new mechanic system. But sometimes you don't. You may only need to every once in a while. Well, what dice do I roll? Okay, oh, is that a success? All right, great. And eventually you'll learn it as you play it, right? But the
I'm
role
very
playing in every system is the same.
yeah. Well, yes, I agree with that part. That yes, the role playing in every system is the same. But I do
Mhm.
think there are systems where when you try and do certain things, the system is fighting you, and
Sure.
I think that's the key to a good system. Like the system encourages you to do certain things in a certain way. Matt Colville
Mhm.
recently had a really good sort of explainer on that about how systems it's not about a system being good or a system being bad, it's about a system encouraging you or discouraging you from certain types of actions and certain choices and certain tones. And
Yeah.
you know, uh, yes, you can use D&D 5th edition to literally play anything. You can use any system to literally play anything with enough work.
Hmm.
But
Yep.
will it have the right feel? Will it have the right tone for what you're trying to achieve with that game? I think that
Right.
varies.
No, I agree. Like trying to take the fate system and put that into a D20, I think would be very difficult, right? Because you're using fate dice to accomplish, these super heroic events. Whereas in a D20 system, it's just a numbers game. This
Yep.
one is fail or succeed. That's it.
Well, and I
Right.
think that system creates a different tension in a different way, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And so that those different tensions
Hmm.
go into theme, go into what your
Absolutely.
story, like you said, like I think with D20 because of that first, like
Hmm.
there's so many more actions, right? So many more die
Yeah.
rolls between actions. Everything's so granulated by singular
Yeah.
die rolls um, that an individual success or failure is not a big deal, and it can be very binary like that, where it's just like, oh, that action
Hmm.
that you just did that failed, but that's okay because next turn you'll just try it again, and maybe that time it'll work. Um,
Right.
but in a system like Fate, where you get fewer rolls, um,
Hmm.
that roll has more meaning. So you have to have,
Absolutely.
so you have more gradient in success, right? There's degrees of success that you kind of have control over. Um,
Yeah.
Unlike in D&D where it's like, yes, we kind of can say, oh, well, a 15 is a better roll than a 10, but they're both
Yeah.
successes, and should I honor that? And like you as a player don't have any control over that. The
Yep.
die just dictated that. Um,
And then with like the Star Wars RPG that Fantasy Flight put out with their dice system, which was very thematic to the scene, to the theme of Star Wars.
well, Valorinx just sent out a cheer with some bits. Thanks, Valorinx.
Oh, thank you so much. That was awesome. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you so much, and have a good night. I see you're heading off to bed. Have a good night's sleep, and hopefully we'll see you
Yeah,
next time.
yeah, and hopefully you're going to play something amazing this week. Because that's always my hope is that anybody watching us is going to have the opportunity to play something awesome.
Yeah,
So we're like at the last minute of our
we
time.
are. Yeah.
Oh my lords.
Gosh,
And
where did the time go?
I know, right? So I'll actually be able to finish these in the next session and also work on the big boy that I want. It's not big, it's just it's just a little bit bigger
Yeah,
than this.
yeah,
Because all I need to do with these batch paint zombies is a little detail on the face, the shoes, and then go back around and do a little highlighting and detail work, which won't take very long. And these bad boys will be done.
nice.
So, on
Yeah,
that note, for those of you that are still watching, we appreciate you being here. We thank you so much. We look forward to you coming back next week for the next episode of Prime Time. And make sure that you hit that follow and that notification bell so that anytime that the Origins Game Fair channel goes live, you'll be able to tune in and watch all the other amazing programs that are shown on this channel, and they would really appreciate the love as well. So until next time, let's give Adam a big thank you for being the voice in the beyond and
Thank you,
helping
sir.
with everything in the background. And everybody else, we will see you next time, and I hope to see you all at a friendly local game store.